Hi, I'm Fred Reed from CNY Live and SyracuseLive.com. We are here at the Westcott Theater tonight talking to Arlie Kinchlow from Sister Sparrow and the Dirty Birds.
Yeah.
What a great name.
Thank you.
Thanks for having me. Thanks for coming down and talk to me and before
it.
your show. So let's start a little bit so we can introduce you to our readers and our viewers. Where did Arlie come from and what got you involved with music?
So I grew up in the Catskill Mountains. I'm in a tiny town, and my parents are very musical. They were always in bands together and stuff, so I grew up singing in their band when I was like 9. I think they started having me sit in. So it's kind of the family business in a way, although my parents do other things for work, but my dad is still a drummer in his band, so it's really fun. And so I just got really comfortable with it at an early age and realized that I really loved it and wanted to keep doing it, so I pursued it, which is crazy. But
Well, that's great, playing family stuff with your family. What, if you don't mind me asking, what kind of music were you playing at that time?
That band plays a lot of like parties and weddings and stuff, so it's a lot of like old kind of classic rock and roll and blues and soul and stuff like that. So,
Okay.
so yeah, it's where my music is kind of rooted in like the blues and soul and stuff. So I got it from them, I think.
Thanks, Mom and Dad.
Yeah, totally.
Right? So when did you really start like on your own? How old and how long ago did you start?
So I started writing songs when I was 18. I've been singing my whole life, but when I was 18, I decided to start playing piano again and kind of re-familiarizing myself with it. And then I started writing songs. And then a couple of years later, my brother and I moved to New York City from the Catskills, and we kind of put our head down and tried to get the band together. So I think I was 20 when the band, so that's it's 10 years actually this fall, is the anniversary of the first show we ever did.
Okay.
So, yeah, so...
And that was the first show was in New York City, wasn't
in New
it?
York City,
Catskills, okay.
correct, yeah. And we actually played a couple like little local shows up in the Catskills, like to try to kind of get our feet wet, but before we actually got the Dirty Birds together. So when we moved to New York, we got a group of friends, and actually our cousin used to be our drummer as well, so it was a family group and all of our friends and stuff, and it was great. I mean, we played in the city for about a year and a half before we started touring, and then when we started touring, we were just like, pedal to the metal, no pun intended, but we really hit it hard in the first few years, and we played everywhere. I mean, just all over the States and back and forth. We probably do at least 150 shows a year, if not more. In those first years, it was like really busy, but we've slowed down a little bit now, which is nice to kind of pace it out a bit, but.
So has it been 10 years of really touring and putting together some CDs along the way?
Yeah, I would say it's been 8 solid years of touring, although I did just take a year off because I had a baby. So
congratulations.
Thank you. So there's a little break in the timeline there, but then we're getting back to it now. So yeah, I'd say 8 years, pretty solid.
Baby boy or girl?
Baby boy.
Drummer? Like
yeah,
dad? Like grandpa?
he seems like he does. He's drumming on everything. I think it's also the age. He just turned 1, so he just wants to hit everything.
Yeah. Exactly. So you have a CD that you are, obviously this is your fall tour for the CD Gold.
Yeah, so Gold is our new release. And it's actually kind of a different... came at this record a lot differently than the other ones. The other ones were really more of a band, like live sound that we all did together. But this one I wanted to kind of step out on my own and do more of a solo project, and I've been wanting to do that for a really long time. And I've always written the songs for the band, but it's always been a big collaboration, and we arranged them all together and stuff like that. But this, also because I was a new mom and I really didn't have a lot of time, so I kind of had to do it on my weird mom schedule.
Yes.
So I just worked with a producer really closely in Brooklyn, and I was able to, over the course of like 6 months, it took a long time, but we made this record, and I'm really proud of it. So, and the boys came and played on a lot of the songs too, so it's still, it's still the Dirty Birds, but it was a little bit more focused on really what I wanted this time. So.
Is it listed under your Arlie?
It's under Sister Sparrow.
Sister Sparrow, okay.
Yeah.
Well, that's great, and obviously you've written all the music yourself, and you've been doing this for 8 years now. And do you think that all the hard touring that you're doing probably made you a better musician along the way, and made you really know what you're really headed for?
Definitely, yeah. I mean, I think you have to play so much to really get to know yourself and your band members and the music and everything. I mean, the songs will change and evolve every time you play them. So it's really, you learn so much every show. And sometimes you don't like what you learn, but then you can go back and change it the next time. But yeah, I think it's important to play a lot. Even if you're not playing out, I think it's important to rehearse a lot. You know, we're just getting back into it after a long time of not really hanging out and playing. So it's been really extra special this tour coming back at it, because we're like, oh yeah.
It's like a mini reunion.
Yeah, totally. It's a revival of sorts. But it's nice, yeah.
Well, now, what do you see in the future for Arlie or Sister Sparrow and the Dirty Birds? How do you see what do you want in the future?
Well, I mean, I think we want to get back to touring more, not full time, because obviously I have a child now, but we want to.
He can't move equipment yet, so
not yet,
can't bring
but we are working on that. He's very strong. But yeah, we want to just continue to play and tour, and see how this record does, and see, it's a little different from our other stuff, so I'm anxious to see how our fans receive it, and kind of take it from there. And I loved the process of making this album, and I would love to do another one like it, but maybe bringing some of the guys back in on the creative level as well. So yeah, I mean, kind of just keeping it going. I don't know. I mean, it's been such a whirlwind to have the baby and then make the album. Well, I started when he was 2 months old, so I've really been kind of trying to get it going. So it's taken this year, but yeah, I think it's good to continue the momentum while I have it, while I still can do it, Sure. And then we'll see what happens in the future. I mean, he's gonna come in the van with us, when he can. So
doing his homework.
Yeah, oh my God. I feel like kind of a bad mom saying that, but it'll be fun for him maybe.
I'm sure there's plenty of kids out there who have parents and brothers as musicians.
Yeah.
And I can tell you, when you're younger, it does mean a lot when you're a part of that, and high school is high school, it's what it is. But when you're a part of that kind of a thing, and as yourself, growing up with your parents.
Right, it's
so
true.
You'll know what to do. It's just a mom thing that's going to come up.
Yeah.
Now, for anybody who's never been to one of your shows, what can we tell them to expect tonight and any of the other tour shows that you got? Because you told me earlier, it's up until December, at least this tour.
Yeah,
so what can we expect?
We're going all over. Well, we have a few new songs. We're trying out a couple of our new singles. We have now brought to the stage, which is really fun to bring those and kind of tweak them a little bit for the live show. But our show is really high energy, and it's raucous, and it's we want people to dance and have a good time. So it's really all about a little bit of a party. Kind of bring your dancing shoes and have a good time. So if you've never seen us before, that's what I like to warn people about. You will dance.
It's a good thing the Westcott has no seats, because everybody can just dance.
I know, I love
I've been to shows where that happens here, and it's beautiful.
Yeah, it's my favorite when there's no seats.
Well, I was listening to your single Ghost, and I'm like, it's definitely a kind of song that you don't want to be sitting for.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah,
it's got a nice feel to it.
Up tempo. Yeah. I'm hoping people groove a little bit.
I'm sure they won't be disappointed. So hopefully we're going to see a lot of people out here tonight, and you also got the rest of the tour going.
Mm-hmm.
Now, you do have CDs out, because after they see you, they're going to want to know where they can get them all.
Absolutely. All of our music is on, iTunes, Amazon, on our website too, sistersparrow.com. You can find everything there. And if you pre-order the new record, which is out October 12th, which that one's called Gold, the record is. But if you pre-order it now, you get the first 2 singles right away.
No kidding.
So that's pretty cool.
Excellent.
And we also are going to be selling that on vinyl at our shows. So
on vinyl too?
Yeah. So,
perfect.
And I think the vinyl should be on our website as well, if you like vinyl. It's kind of a fun treat.
I pull out my old record player just for stuff like that.
Yeah.
I called it a record player.
That's what it is. That's what I call it.
Anything else you want to tell us about?
No, I think that covers it. I mean, that we're excited about the new album, and definitely come see us play. And
Perfect.
Yeah.
What's a couple of cities coming after this, so people can maybe catch it?
So let's see. We're gonna be in Albany in November, I believe. We're going out to the Midwest, but I'm thinking upstate New York here. We're going to be in New York City in December as well. So we're hitting New York a few times. So.
And they can be found on the website,
sistersparrow.com/tour if you want to check the tour dates. It's pretty easy. So.
That's perfect. Arlie, I really appreciate you taking time with me tonight and being on CNY Live. We
Thank you.
So
Cheers.
much. We look forward to your show tonight.
Thanks. Yay.